Welcome to the latest video interview in association with BettingSites. And today we are pleased to be hooking up with the former Liverpool, Sunderland and French international, Djibril Cisse. We're going to talk about all things Liverpool and their stuttering season, having been dumped out of the Champions League last week, and some potential transfer gossip on who might be coming in to save the Reds next season. And some sort of French footy stuff at the end as well. So, Djibril, welcome. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll get cracking with some Liverpool questions for you. And obviously, Liverpool were dumped out of the Champions League, as we said in the intro, to Real Madrid last week, and they're not doing great in the league either. 6, I think, at the moment, and their chances of finishing in the top 4 are not looking great. But they had a funny sort of season when they scored 7 goals against Man United 3 games ago, and then they failed to score against Bournemouth and Real Madrid. What basically do you put their scoring inconsistencies down to at the moment? Going from 7 goals to 0.
Well, for sure, Man United game. It's it's a derby. It's an important game. It's a special game. For us, for the fans, for the players, it's a special game. So that you have to win that game, and to win games you need to score goals. So you are mentally prepared to score goals. To score 7, it's something big. And to be honest, I thought that it will be like a way to wake the team up, and to boost the team. When you win 7-0 against your big rival, you expect more from the team after this game, and they failed to score against Bournemouth and against Real Madrid, which is a surprise. And but I know how hard it is. I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I expected something different from the team in terms of goals. And it's I don't know. Maybe the team, maybe the players are mentally tired. A lot of things happened this season. Maybe some players are not need adaptation still. Nunez just arrived. Gakpo just arrived. Salah is here, and doing what he can, the best he can do. And it takes time. It takes time, and I think this season we have to to do as well as possible before the end of the season. Maybe grab a top 4 position and start from scratch next season, and really to have a really strong transfer window, and to build a team again, because we are not we're not used to see Liverpool in that kind of level.
Okay, perfect. And I mean, do you think maybe their sort of scoring inconsistencies? Would it be losing Mane? Would you think that would be a big reason for that? As well as obviously they've had quite a lot of injury issues. But I mean, do you think losing Mane is one of the big factors in their scoring inconsistency?
Yeah, for sure. To lose a player that can score and assist, and the duo him and Mo Salah was really, really effective, and really dangerous for the other teams. And the fact that Mane left the team, it might be one of the reasons that it was a difficult season for them.
So, I mean, if obviously Liverpool are out of the Champions League now, and if they don't qualify for a European slot in the Champions League, a top 4 finish in the Premier League, do you think Klopp will go? Do you think he'll walk? Do you think that'll be it for him?
Well, I don't think it's the kind of guy that gave up. After the club might decide to change the manager, but I don't think so. I think that I see him as a guy that want to fight and want to put the club where the club belong, and I don't see him living on a season like this. It's I don't think he's the kind of guy.
You think you've got something to prove? I mean, after their sort of dominance the last 3-4 seasons or whatever, and then so sort of dramatically to sort of fall away, he's got something to prove a little bit, Klopp.
Yeah, I think that is it's really important for him to, if he wants to live well and to live with the team in a strong position, and why not in the top 4 position.
So Djibril, if Klopp did go, I mean, who would you like to see replace him, or who do you think will replace him potentially? There's a few sort of names being battered around in the betting at the moment. The assistant manager there, Linders. You've got Thomas Tuchel. You've got Alonso, Gerrard, some ex-players there that always get linked. But can you see any of them replacing him? Or
well, my ideal in my world, I would love to see Steven Gerrard taking the Reds. That'd be a dream for me. I don't know if it's the right time, if he's ready for it, but I would like to see him. And yeah, I think that he can, he knows the city, he knows the club. He have the DNA of the club. He knows the club inside out. So I think that it can be a good solution for the club.
Right, next up, one of the summer signings, Darwin Núñez. He's been playing out on the wing a little bit more for Liverpool these days, and he didn't really make an impact against Real Madrid last week. I mean, do you think that he's the kind of striker that Liverpool needed? Was he the right buy? Is he the right fit for the team?
Well, yeah, he's a striker. So, he's playing out of position, so it's difficult for him to give his best. He's a central forward. He's more in the center normally, and to play. I know the situation because I was playing right wing for Lazio. So I know what it is not to play in your position. You're doing your best, you're trying to help the team, but it's not your position. There's things that you can do, and you cannot change a player. I think he's doing well. He's doing what he can. But for me, his position is center forward. With Mo Salah up front, it'll be a nice partnership.
Yeah, 14 goals so far for Núñez. Right, Liverpool have only scored one more goal than Brighton this season in the league. And do you think that the lack of goals really is costing Liverpool at the moment? Especially in their bid for make a top 4. I mean, is it? I mean, that's an obvious thing to say. Admittedly, goals win games, but is it something else? Maybe the fact they're not keeping enough clean sheets as well. But
yeah, I think it's the problem is more than scoring goals. I think they concede. We don't get used to see Liverpool defense concede that many goals, so many goals. There's a problem here too, and in front they're not effective enough. So if you don't score goals, yeah, like you said, it's a simple thing to say, but if you don't score goal, you don't win the game, and if you concede goals, you lose game. That's all it is, and exactly what's happening at the moment. They're not strong enough up front to score goals, or not effective enough to score goals, and they concede many goals. So it's difficult. It's difficult to reach the European position, without being strong defensively.
Yeah, I think they've let in 29 or so goals already this season. Sort of linking on to that, I mean, Jamie Carragher has said recently that Liverpool need to buy a new right back to either compete or replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. And do you agree with that? I mean, he's had his critics the last season or so, Trent. and one of his sort of big assets was assists, wasn't it? The last few seasons, I think I had a look back, and he's sort of got double figure assists for the last 3 or 4 seasons. This year, 2 assists. So it's sort of the stats are there. So do you think they'd be in the market for a new right back?
Yeah, I think you need to double the positions anyway. Trent, is a little under his level at the moment, but he's still young. He can improve his game, and sometimes you have off season. You have seasons that you're not as good as you're supposed to do, and it happens. It happens to big players, and it happens to everybody. But for sure, for a team, you need to have a replacement, and so you don't have, so you don't have moments and games and important moment in the season where you're losing too many points. So you need to have to double your position anyway.
So Harvey Elliott, I know you've hopefully seen a bit of him at the moment this season. I mean, Klopp's put quite a lot of faith in playing the young Englishman. One of the players with the most appearances this season in the squad. Do you think he's proven sort of worthy of Klopp's faith in playing him in so many games?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not in the with the team every day. So if Klopp playing and giving him minutes to play and to show that he's got the quality, that means that the kid is good. And what I saw at the moment, until now, is he's have a bright future in front of him, and I hope that he's going to play more and more and be a key player for Liverpool.
And Stefan Barčetić, I mean, he's just I think he got injured, didn't he, last game? I think he might be out for the season now, but obviously looks a great buy for Liverpool. Do you think that if Klopp is still there next season, that he's going to sort of build his team around the Spaniard in midfield, or not?
I think Liverpool need to buy a few players, to be honest, and it depends of what Liverpool can buy. It would depend a lot of the transfer window. The quality is in the squad at the moment. I think it's just mentally, and maybe it's a cycle. The players are tired, and we need new something new into the team. But for sure, the young guys are really good. The new players that just arrived need time to adapt, but the quality is there, and I think we need a few good players more into the squad, and I think that the squad is strong enough, but to build around young players or players that just arrived, I don't think it's going to be the case. But I think you have to build around Mo Salah for sure. You have to count on Nunez, on Gakpo. You need to count on guys like this, and Anderson, of course, and to do a better season than this season. That's for sure.
As we've already alluded to, a lot hinges on the top 4 finish in terms of attracting players next season as well. So, and then moving on to the defence, if you like, Virgil van Dijk. I mean, after his injury, I mean, you've had a couple of horrific injuries in your career as well, and you bounced back and did really well. But I mean, people are sort of muting the fact that he might not be the same player, after his injury. And do you think that Liverpool fans just need to accept that? I mean, he's 31 now. Do you think they need to get in the market for a new centre back, or let's give him time, or what?
This season was a special season. The World Cup in the middle of the season. It's hard for players to be focused. before the World Cup, you were maybe worried or scared to get injured. After the World Cup, you're tired of the World Cup. So it's a special season. So to be honest, I don't want to blame the players. I want to. I live this kind of situation. No, I never played the World Cup in the middle of the season, but I know how important and how focused you can be on on a big competition like this with your country. So to be honest, I wanna be more how do you say fair with the players, and I want them to finish well this season and to start really from scratch, and really I will be like more demanding after them next season. For now, it's this season is really special. It's really a tricky one. The World Cup is really I don't think it was a good idea to put it in the middle of the season like this.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Right, and then Klopp, he keeps giving Fabio Carvalho literally just a couple of minutes at the end of the game, just coming on as sub or whatever, and that's whether they're winning or losing or whatever. I mean, as a player, that would obviously would that annoy you? Would that frustrate you? I mean, you're just getting a minute here and there.
Well, as a player, you have to know. You have to know your position in the squad. He's still young. There's big players in front of him. You need to be patient. If Klopp using him, giving him like this amount of minutes, maybe he's preparing him, for next season, and he don't want to, to throw him in the cage too quickly. I think that the guy has a potential. Is really, really good. Really, I like what I saw until now, but he need maybe more time to more, how you say, experience maybe, and it takes like you have to go slowly. With player like this, you cannot like play them straight away and like burn them. They need step by step, like I was saying.
Right, transfers. Let's move on to some potential Liverpool players that might be at Anfield next season to sort of spark them back into life. Jude Bellingham is a big name that's been battered around at the moment to join Liverpool. I think at the moment he's favourite out of all the clubs, around 6-4 to head to Anfield in the summer. If so, couple of perfect fit for Liverpool, and how much do you think they'll be willing to spend on him?
Oh yeah, to be honest, the money side of football, it's something that I'm not really into, because I don't understand how you can spend that much in the player. It's the modern football. That's something that it's hard for me to understand, to spend that kind of money for players. But it's how it is. It's modern football, like I said. It's how it is. But for sure, it's a lot of money, because he's the guy is a crack. He's really, really good. He's the future of England, and I hope the future of Liverpool. And yeah, he's a perfect fit, because the guy is, he can do everything. He's really talented, offensively, really effective, really strong, technically very, very gifted, score some goals, and really hard defensively too. So the guy is a perfect player for any team.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, again, as we've already alluded to, the top four finish might be something, might play an impact on that, whether he joins or not Champions League football. But at the moment, he is favourite. Another Englishman that's been linked with Liverpool is Mason Mount. I mean, if they can't get Bellingham, I mean, maybe they'll get both. Who knows? But there's sort of like a 60-70 million price tag being sort of lumped on Mason Mount. Again, he's favourite in the betting, around 6-4 to join Liverpool. I mean, do you think they should sort of head after him if they can't get Bellingham?
I think they should go for both, to be honest. It's two players that can play together. And if Bellingham, if you cannot do Bellingham, yeah, you can do Mount. But in my opinion, you should go for both. It's a lot of money, like I said, but it's two young and really, really good players. So to be honest, they should go for both and see who's willing to come. But like you said, the top four position, it's I think it's gonna be something that's gonna change and make players agree or not, because these kind of players, they need to play Champions League football, and that's what they made for for Champions League, for big games, for big nights, and that's a big problem if Liverpool don't play Champions League night.
I mean, is there any other players out there that you'd like to see wearing the red of Liverpool? I mean, for example, Ruben Neves has been a name sort of chucked around, Wolves guy. But is there anyone else that you'd like to see there?
Yeah, I've got something. I've got somebody for me that is the best player in the world at the moment. I've got Kylian Mbappe. I would love to see him in the red shirt. For me, I think he's made for English football. I know he loves Real Madrid. He was linked to them, and I think he wants to go. To be honest, to see him in Anfield, he can cause a lot of damage into the Premier League. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's his mum. She loves Liverpool, so
yeah, I was just about to say that. I think we did some research and we found that out. So yeah, so Mbappe's mum is a big Liverpool fan, so that could be a big help, couldn't it?
So as a good boy, you have to listen to your mum.
Yeah, too right. Liverpool, as well as Man United, they've been linked with the Frankfurt attacker Mouani, French international. I mean, he's only had 5 caps, but he's made a big impact, hasn't he? He's scored a goal, and I mean, how do you rate him? And could you see him being at Liverpool at some point?
Yeah, I followed him in France. It was already, I was impressed. Because it happened really, really quick for him. In one season, he became a French international, then really decisive for France. Then now we're talking about being in the starting 11. So everything, in 2 years, not even 2 years, he went from, a normal player to an international star. So, I mean, it's mentally, it's hard to deal with it, and he's doing well. He's doing really well. He's scoring goals. Every game, he's scoring goals. He's been called up again in national team, and yeah, that's the kind of player that I like to see, and I would love to see in the Premier League. If it's not in Liverpool, but in the Premier League.
Yeah. And then sort of at the back, the Croatian Garvaldio. I mean, he had a great World Cup, didn't he? And he's only 21, and there's a lot of clubs, coming in for him and talking about potential rumours for him. I mean, he could be another one that could be heading to Anfield in the summer. Have you seen much of him?
Not really. A part of the World Cup, it looks promising. Well, but I don't know. I don't know about what club needs. If you need more experienced players or young. I don't know what in terms of defensive what we really need. But yeah, what I saw about him, he's a future good defender.
Yeah, I mean, as we sort of talked about earlier, Van Dijk, he's 31 now, and they will have sort of one eye on replacing him, whether it's next season or the season after, and it's potentially players like that they could sort of have on their radar, I suppose. But and then sort of at the the sort of the other end of the transfer market, if you like, not so much who they're going to buy, but who do you think that Liverpool might end up sort of getting rid of in the summer, to sort of balancing the books?
Well, for sure, Firmino, I think, is going to leave. Apparently, he announced it, so I think that's one.
Players like Oxlade-Chamberlain and
Chamberlain maybe needs even for him. He needs to play more football. He's a good player. A couple of injuries there lately, but he needs to play football in and out, and to play a few minutes here, a few minutes there. I don't think it's good for him. He needs to play like more football.
Right, and moving on to the French players at the moment. Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
And there's rumours at the moment of Juventus sort of cancelling his contract. Has he really lived up to the potential? During his career so far. I mean, he's only been a Man United and a Juventus player, hasn't he? Sort of gone yo-yo between the two. But do you think he's lived up to his potential?
No, to be honest, he's a really, really beautiful player to see when he's on top of his form. He had a crazy season, in between personal problems and his injury. But he's a really, really, really talented player when he's on 100%. I still think that he's got a lot, on him, and why not? I wanna say why not, but I don't think as a Man United player he will join Liverpool, to be honest.
No. And then we've already touched on Mbappe a little bit. PSG out of the Champions League, and you think that if they can't even reach the quarterfinals of the best European competition, do you think how much longer do you think he'll be staying around there? Do you think it could be in the summer that he goes?
He said himself that he wants to win titles, to win big trophies, and I think by big trophies he meant Champions League. He's not gonna lie to anyone. He wants to lift that trophy. I know his heart is in PSG. He wants to lift that trophy with PSG, but for the past years they struggled into quarterfinal. So I think that and they made one final, but they lost. To be honest, I think that he's a player that deserves to play big nights, to play Champions League football. He will play Champions League football with PSG because they won every 5 leagues. They're gonna lose. They're not gonna be champions once, maybe. So he's gonna play Champions League football every year. But I'm not sure that the PSG that we have now, I don't think they are strong enough to win the Champions League. And I think that he deserves something bigger, to be honest.
And if you listen to his mum, he'll be heading to Anfield. Yeah.
Yeah, I will love that. And to be honest, I would love to see him in Anfield.
I think most Premier League fans would love him in the league, full stop, regardless if you're a Liverpool fan or not, to be honest with you. But and then
they'll prefer their team, but yeah, it is really something to see.
Right, and the French captain at the moment, Hugo Lloris, do you think that he should have retired by now? And I mean, the obvious successor, if you like, would be Mbappe as captain. But do you think he should sort of hand the captaincy down?
No, I mean, if the manager decides to give him the armband, I mean, that he's ready. We're talking about DJ Deschamps. DJ Deschamps knows football really well, and if he decides to give to Kylian, he should accept.
He's retired and stuff, so yeah, obviously we'll see who gets the captain's armband. Now he's gone, but and then the sort of ongoing beef, if you like, or the argument between Benzema and Deschamps, that's been sort of in the news at the moment. Who do you think's in the wrong there about was he fit, was he not fit?
To be honest, I don't really follow this kind of. I love football too much to pay attention to things like this. Things being said, I think that Benzema should. He's bigger than that. He's Ballon d'Or. He's the best player in the world. So why lowering yourself to small stories like this? I think you should forget, play football, score goals, and that's it. To be honest, but it's what he's doing at the moment. He's not answering to the manager. So I think he should stay like this.
Zinedine Zidane, he's been out of work now since leaving Real Madrid a couple of years ago, in 2021. Do you think he should take over from Deschamps? I mean, Deschamps been there since over 10 years now. Do you think he's the perfect guy to take over?
Well, to be honest, Deschamps is doing well. Why changing? But at the same time, I would love to see Zidane taking France. I would say personally, I would say yes. But in terms of result and what the team is doing, you cannot take Deschamps off. If he decides to go, it's his decision. But to be honest, as a president of the federation, you cannot, fire him because he's doing well. But I would love to see Zidane taking over France.
He's just waiting. He's not taking any more club, positions, is he? So potentially, maybe he's just waiting for that. And then, we've already touched on Steven Gerrard. You'd love to see him at Anfield, the next manager of Liverpool. I mean, he's been linked with a few sort of vacant positions at the moment, the Crystal Palace job and so on. But I mean, what do you think of his managerial sort of career so far? He was obviously at Rangers, did quite well there, and then Villa didn't go so well. He was sacked earlier this season, wasn't he? So, how do you think it's gone there for Gerrard?
I mean, he's still learning. He's young. He's a young manager. It's not that easy, to manage a team. It's not because you are a great player that you're going to be a great manager. It's not. It's totally different job. To be honest, he did really well in Rangers. He had his good moment too in the Premier League. He ended up getting sacked. But to be honest, I think he's got it in him. He's a good manager. He's going to be a really good manager, and I want to see him taking a club, and do what he do best, which is to be a leader and to lead his team.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then just a couple more ones. I mean, we're going the Championship now. Sunderland and QPR, a couple of your ex clubs that you played for. I mean, do you still keep an eye on what they're up to and what they're doing, their results, how they're doing in the league and stuff? Yeah,
of course. I'm still I'm following more Sunderland, to be honest, because why I don't know, but it's I'm still I'm more watching them, but I still love QPR too. Don't get me wrong, and I had fun. I had some good time there in both teams, and I would love to see them again in the Premier League, but it's a long way.
Yeah, it's not. There's just sort of like both middle of the table sort of at the moment, aren't they? They're not going to really go up this season, but a club like Sunderland, huge. Obviously, it'd be great to see them back in the Premier League. So maybe next season they will make a charge. We will see. And then finally, just the last question: Champions League pick. Who we're down to the quarterfinal stage now. Some interesting ties. I mean, who do you think is going to go all the way this year and lift the trophy?
To be honest, one team impressed me a lot. Napoli, really, really good team. You know, they're strong everywhere. In defense, midfield, goalkeeper, up front, they score like goal for fun. They're leading the Serie A for like maybe more than 10 or 12 points or 15 points even. And Man City, of course. You know, I love Haaland. I'm a Haaland fan, and the kid is something special. So yeah, Napoli or City, but yeah, more City.
We'll see. Well, City are favourites at the moment. Napoli second favourite. So we just quickly run through the 4 games. You've got AC Milan against Napoli. You're going for Napoli there. Then we've got Benfica against Inter. Who's going to come out of that one? Inter.
Yeah.
Then we've got Man City and Munich. So you're going Man City there.
Yeah.
Then we've got Real Madrid against Chelsea.
Real Madrid.